Godzilla vs. Kong moves up into late March. Daredevil has finished filming Spider-Man 3. David Ayer is back at it again with new Suicide Squad clips. And Zack Snyder's Justice League just got another change. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Locked On Entertainment. I'm your host, Adam Gorman, and thank you for tuning in to the first ever episode. It's going to be exciting as we go through all the latest film news, rumors, trailers, reviews, you name it. I'm going to try to cover it. It's coming to you Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, we have new images from Mortal Kombat. These stills were released by Entertainment Weekly this weekend, and it shows Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, Kano, Jax, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. You just can't get enough goodness out of this. It was awesome to have. I'm sure a trailer will be due out here soon. Now, not much is really known about this movie, but we can pretty much assume that it's your typical Mortal Kombat. There's going to be a tournament. There's going to be a lot of fighting. There might even be some fatalities. But the images that were shown to us were really, really awesome. It was really exciting. It looks very grounded. It looks very dark. Kind of like the Mortal Kombat Legacy that came out years ago on YouTube. They had 2 seasons, and it was very well done for the budget that they had. Now this reboot of a series obviously has a much bigger budget, and it definitely shows. The CGI looks pretty nice. It is confirmed that it is an R-rated film, so expect a lot of gore, blood, and fatalities. Can't wait. I'm personally looking forward to it. I love the Mortal Kombat, series as a whole. I love the video games, the new NetherRealm series. What was it? Mortal Kombat 10, or Mortal Kombat X, and then Mortal Kombat 11. Those story-driven games, even though it's very much the fight 'em, beat 'em up, and everything, it's still great to have a great story involved in them. And I think it just helped grow Mortal Kombat even more to this new generation of gamers and everything. So I expect this movie to really just catapult the franchise even further. It does come out April 16th, 2021, in both theaters and HBO Max. So look forward to that in the upcoming months. Next up, Godzilla vs. Kong gets pushed up to late March release on HBO Max and in theaters. Now this is big news because we have not really gotten any trailers, rarely any imagery of the upcoming film. So now that it's coming out late March, puts it around the same time as Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. So it's kind of like, are we going to get a big trailer here soon? I thought with the new announcement that it's coming out late March 26th is the official date, that we would get some more footage. We did get a little sneak peek in the HBO Max trailer that came out over the weekend, but overall, not much has been said about this. Overall, we don't know exactly what we're going to get our hands into. I'm expecting a trailer to drop probably sometime this month or very early February at the latest. You can't go wrong. If you haven't watched it or you haven't been caught up in any of the new Godzilla and Kong movies, you need to do yourself a favor and just go ahead and start watching them. Be aware, though, that first Godzilla movie is only about 3 to 5 minutes of Godzilla, and the rest is just humans, and it's the big disappointment in that one. But the sequel is worth the watch. It's on HBO Max right now. Go check it out if you do have the streaming service. If not, I'm sure you could probably find it online for, $10, $15 digitally. You could probably go to the store and buy it for $10 or something like that, get a deal off of it. Who knows? But you need to go ahead and watch it. If you're going to watch Godzilla vs. Kong, you're probably going to want to watch at least Godzilla King of Monsters and Kong Skull Island. So do yourself a favor and at least watch those 2 movies. Next bit of news that happened over the weekend, Charlie Cox, Daredevil, Netflix's Daredevil, has wrapped filming for the new upcoming Spider-Man 3. What? This was a big surprise because there were a lot of, there was a lot of stuff, rumors, Charlie Cox was seen on set. Charlie Cox wasn't coming back as Daredevil, that they were going to, bring back, they were going to bring in Daredevil with a new actor. But now it is confirmed that Charlie Cox did come to the set of Spider-Man 3, did do filming, and has wrapped the filming as Daredevil. Now, we don't know if this is part of the multiverse that was talked about in Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness. You know, what started off as the WandaVision. You know, we don't know exactly where his Daredevil fits into this universe, but we have had a lot of rumors that the Netflix's Defenders, that's Daredevil, that's Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, that they're all going to start showing up in the MCU in some fashion. Maybe not having their own shows or movies, but as cameos and different, you know, projects. So maybe this is the first step. You know, we left Spider-Man, you know, technically as wanted for murder from, you know, in the last one. So maybe Charlie Cox's character is coming in to help him in, you know, legal battle. We've seen this before. We've seen Daredevil help Spider-Man clear his name. We saw it in the animated series in the 90s. We've seen it in the comic book. So it wouldn't be surprising if Kevin Feige was like, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and, you know, introduce Daredevil. He's been here. He's just been a small timer. Wouldn't that be awesome to get the Daredevil, you know, at least the Daredevil characters into the MCU? You know, Charlie Cox, he did a fantastic job as Daredevil. He needs to be in the MCU. He deserves that right. He kickstarted the Defenders and made it what it was. That Netflix series, you know, was awesome. Maybe even give him his own show. Maybe bring it back. You know, let him continue on the story. You know, a couple years later, see what he's been doing. Maybe he's, you know, enjoying himself as Daredevil. Maybe he's getting, you know, into shit. Who knows? But this is awesome news for the MCU. I think it's going to grab a lot of attention for people who were diehard, you know, Netflix series Daredevil fans like myself. So sky's the limit for Spider-Man 3. Moving on from the MCU to the DCEU, David Ayer is kind of back at it again. He did release a Joker clip that was never before seen, even if it was only 3 seconds long. Here it is.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself.
It's not a long clip, it's just the Joker saying you should be ashamed of yourself, hashtag release the Ayer cut. Now, this goes off to the Zack Snyder, you know, cut that's been, you know, finally happening after years of campaigning and trying to get it done. It's finally coming out this March, and we'll get to that, you know, afterwards. But David Ayer has also spoken out here within the last, you know, handful of months saying that his cut is pretty much done. He doesn't have to do any more filming or anything like that. He just needs to, you know, piece it together and release it. And I'm pretty sure here soon we'll probably end up getting that. I think it's definitely time for these directors just to have their time, you know, release their version. You know, we've seen director's cuts happen for decades now, and might as well just see what could have been. And if this kind of fixes the DCEU, I'm all for it, because I personally do love the DCEU. I'm kind of biased with it. I do enjoy it, even though I know deep down it has its problems. It's not the MCU, but maybe, you know, we can start fixing it by letting these director's cuts come out and piecing it back together. So David Ayer needs to get his cut too. If Zack Snyder can get his cut, then he deserves his cut as well for his Suicide Squad, and maybe piece back together what was broken. Going off of David Ayer's cut, Zack Snyder did come out over the weekend and talked about how his Justice League movie will no longer be a 4-part miniseries, but a full-on 4-hour movie. That's not including the credits. That's just the movie. That's 4 hours of film. So hopefully you have time to spare for this cut. It's 4 hours long. That's just insane. But I will sit through 4 hours if it makes everything better. I'm looking forward to Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. I can't wait for it to come out, you know, so here's hoping that maybe we get a little, you know, trailer here soon with this new announcement, but only time will tell. Some of the new releases that are coming out digitally, DVD, and Blu-ray are The Climb, Bring Me a Dream, Dead Reckoning, Hearts and Bones, The Intergalactic Adventures of Max Cloud, Miss Juneteenth, and Breaking Fast. Those are all the films that are coming out today. Maybe you might find one that's, you know, to your liking. I know with COVID-19 new films are kind of scarce, but, you know, that's the time that we live in. Hopefully, as the year progresses, we'll get all the films that were supposed to come out last year finally in our hands to view or to go see in theaters or whatever, you know, the case may be. Give some love to these indie films. Some of these are actually very, very good. So do yourself a favor, check them out. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the first ever episode of Lockdown Entertainment. I will see you guys on Thursday at 11 o'clock to talk about all the new news that happened this week, as well as any new releases that come out to theaters and on digital, Blu-ray, DVD, you name it. I will cover it. So until then, enjoy your week. I'll see you then. Goodbye.